everyone. This is Super Conspros coming to you with another rant. I have to reposition myself for a moment, but today I want to talk to you about a controversial topic, and for all of you people that are going to be ignorant about this, I suggest you leave. If you have an opinion that's different, you may, but I'm going to talk to you why I at least view that not only how education in general is a train wreck, but why a college degree is not necessary, and nowadays, at least in my opinion, it does not mean shit for the most part. Now, while I can agree that a college degree can help, it sure as hell is not necessary. Walt Disney never even attended, Steve Jobs dropped out, Bill Gates never went, Henry Ford didn't even drop out of school at 16 years old. Now, I am not saying for those of you that are in college to drop out if you really think it is for you. But what I'm getting at is if you don't feel like it is, then you should at least try to pursue a career without one. Or at the very least, if you don't think it's for you, go to maybe like an apprenticeship, trade school, something. Because nowadays, especially in this economy, the debt is not worth a little piece of paper that tells you you're ready to start your life, especially considering that it will not guarantee you a job. The way I view things is, let me give you an example. If I were to run, say, a shipping company, I could really care less and give two shits if somebody has a paper or not. Just because they have a paper does not mean they have the skills. That just means they went to school. You know why it could mean they don't have the skills? Because A, they could have forgotten them, and two, in these days, with education in America is shit. It's straight up shit. Why? Because no teachers or professors, for the most part, now not all, but for the most part in this day and age, they're grumpy, selfish, self-centered, arrogant, rude, and they don't care. They don't care for education. They're just there for the paycheck and the big bucks. And yet they even have mentioned that a lot of the skills that they're, quote-unquote, mind you, skills that they're teaching you aren't even going to be used in real life. And they even mentioned that they're not even happy with their jobs. And they are still in college debt after having a teaching job for a decade. Which is why, personally, everybody that pressures you and expects you to go to college, you know what, screw them. I'm not saying that education is not important or to drop out of college if you think it's right for you. But what I'm getting at is that you need skill to survive life, not a little piece of paper that tells you went to this school. Why? Because, let me give you another example. My one friend, David, knows another friend. He did not give his name. But he has a degree, a master's, if I'm correct, in social work, or at least a college degree. He tried for a long time to utilize it. You know, get a job, all that, yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean by utilize, but yet he's working in a damn hat store making minimum wage. Another thing, what the hell are you going to fall back on if the colleges fuck you over? In other words, if these colleges give you this degree and you got nowhere to go, you cannot find the job, you cannot get into that field, the things you learn there are not going to help you at all. Because let's face it, education for the most part is shit these days. It's terrible. You would have better luck. Compared to now, college was a hell of a lot easier back in, the 40s and 50s among those things. That's why so many people pressure you to probably go in, because it may not seem as bad. I honestly don't know if I want to go to college. I may want to honestly, now just hear me out, I want to be a writer. People do want to tell me, oh, you have to go to college. You need to go to college. No, I could just go to a trade school or somewhere else. I just want to keep my ass off campus, to be honest. Because look at William Shakespeare for a perfect example. His books are 400, 500 years old around that area. They've very outdone the test of time. He didn't even go to college. The point I'm getting at is that you do not need a degree to prove you're job ready. You need the knowledge which can be obtained other ways, and you need the power to create and use the gifts God and Jesus gave you to become a marketable person, whether you're male or female. Another thing is, what are you going to fall back on if the college debt falls on your face and you're buried in it? Now, comedy reference aside, because I highly doubt you want to be $50,000 in debt, living in a van down by the river, eating a steady diet of government cheese. Now, reference aside, mind you, I will mention this. Don't you want to have something to fall back on? If it doesn't work for me, I want to either be an actor, or I could work with my dad. He works with multimedia projects for websites, and he legitimately told me I could work with him, live in his house for a while, and we could split the check. But that's just my, plan of attack, if you will. Hell, at this point, even if I end up having to work at a grocery store for steady income until I'm able to, get on my feet, hey, yes, I am aware that it can be humiliating if you live with your parents or if you're on welfare. But before I get off topic, I just want to say, if that is necessary, take that route. If it is ultimately necessary, your last resort. But I'm not saying you should go that route. But what I'm getting at is, first of all, stop looking down. People in schools and in colleges need to stop thinking there's something big. Just because you have a piece of paper does not make you anything special. Hell, you probably forgot half of those skills since it's been, 5 or 8 years since you've been in college. You still have like $30,000 of debt left, paying $400 a month. And another thing, you need to, people, when I say you, I just mean as a group, people need to stop looking down on those that don't go. Because geniuses, as I mentioned before, billionaires didn't go. I'm not saying you'll become a billionaire, but what I am saying is that you never know. If you use your skills and your brain to your potential, and if you don't waste your time being a slave to people that don't care, at least the way I believe, you can be a very marketable person. And to close this off, just to verify one last thing. In general, with school, I believe education is important, but most people leave high school, but I'm not even talking about college, just in general. They say, oh, we're preparing you for college. Yeah, preparing me for college, and I'm barely qualified to flip burgers at McDonald's when I leave high school. I'm probably going to be that same way once I get my degree, because, as I said before, degrees don't mean shit these days. It just means you've been to a school, because you may forget the knowledge, the teachers may misinterpret the knowledge that they're trying to teach. Hell, they might even have a case where you just have a bad teacher that downright doesn't care, as I said, which is, in my opinion, with some exceptions, is the case for the most of the teachers. Now, my mother is one, and I don't mean to offend any teachers that are actually, caring, all these things. And I apologize if I am. I'm just giving you my honest opinion. And before you tell me, oh, I'd love onions on my burger, just one last thing. As I said before, college is not necessary, only knowledge is. So the next time your parents are pressuring you into going, or a teacher, just think, is it really necessary? And based on the fact that people these days are just living, or going check by check, paying the damn things off, and with this shit economy, even the president said there's not enough jobs these days. So to put it this way, what is the point of going if you're not assured a job? You're never really assured a job. But people have told you a degree gives you big leverage. I don't deny that. But what is the point of going to college if nowadays especially you're just going to end up in the dust once you leave the campus? I know this isn't a video game related thing, but I just wanted to get this off my chest since it's similar to my school video. So please, give me your thoughts, give me your comments, your feelings, whatever. Make a video response, I don't care. As always, everyone enjoy themselves and keep on gaming. I will see you guys later.